The Sigma female is not like everyone else. She walks her own path, listens to her own voice, and doesn't follow the crowd. She values her independence, speaks with quiet strength, and doesn't chase approval. These qualities don't just make her unique, they also set her apart in a spiritual way. In many faith-based views, certain people are given extra layers of protection, not because they are better than others, but because their purpose is different. The Sigma female often lives with a deep sense of calling. She's not easily swayed, and she doesn't let just anyone into her life. This isn't by accident. It's part of how God made her. She doesn't look loud or aggressive. In fact, she may seem calm and distant to others. But inside, she carries a powerful sense of truth and direction. She feels when something is wrong. She knows when to walk away. And more often than not, she avoids people who have bad intentions. That's not luck. That's protection. God uses many ways to shield his people from harm, sometimes through instincts, other times through life experiences or spiritual insight. The Sigma female is often given these tools without even realizing it. Her strength is not always seen, but it's there. And because she often moves alone, she stays more connected to that still, small voice that guides her. This video will share 6 reasons why God protects Sigma females from evil people. These reasons go beyond personality. They speak to something deeper, something sacred. If you've ever felt like you dodged a bad person without knowing why, or if you've noticed that dark people tend to avoid you, this might explain it. Let's begin with the first reason. Reason number 1, intuition as a gift to discern evil. One of the strongest tools the Sigma female has is her intuition. She doesn't need someone to tell her when something feels off. She just knows. This inner voice, or gut feeling, is often her first line of defense. When she walks into a room, she can feel the energy. She senses who's genuine and who's hiding something. It doesn't come from guessing or judging. It comes from deep spiritual sensitivity. Many times, she can spot a liar or manipulator before they even speak. That's not just being smart. That's a spiritual gift. In many spiritual beliefs, intuition is one way God speaks to people. It's his way of warning or guiding someone without needing loud signs. The Sigma female, because of her quiet and reflective nature, is more likely to hear this voice. She doesn't drown it out with noise, attention, or distractions. This helps her stay away from danger. When someone is hiding bad intentions, she picks up on it early. She may not always have proof, but she knows something isn't right. She listens to that feeling. And most of the time, it protects her from getting too close to people who could harm her. Even if others call her cold or distant, she knows she's doing the right thing by trusting her instincts. She doesn't chase people. She doesn't force friendships or relationships. She watches, listens, and makes her move only when it feels safe. This kind of wisdom doesn't come from books or advice. It's spiritual. It's given. And it's one of the main reasons she is protected from evil. She listens before it's too late. Reason number 2, boundaries as God-given armor. The Sigma female is not easy to access. She has strong boundaries. She doesn't let just anyone get close to her. Some may see this as coldness, but it's actually a form of wisdom. Boundaries are not walls to keep everyone out. They are gates that protect what's inside. For the Sigma female, these boundaries are part of her design. They help her stay clear of toxic people, manipulation, and spiritual traps. She doesn't entertain people who drain her. She walks away from those who lie, cheat, or play games. She may not fight them directly, but she removes herself from the situation without a second thought. This calm removal is powerful. It keeps her safe without creating drama. From a spiritual view, these boundaries are like armor. God uses them to shield her. Because she respects herself, she doesn't tolerate evil. Because she doesn't need validation, she doesn't fall for flattery. Because she's not afraid to be alone, she doesn't stay in bad company just to feel included. Evil people don't know what to do with a Sigma female. They can't guilt her, trick her, or pressure her. She sees through their games and keeps her distance. That frustrates them. They often walk away because they can't get what they want. This doesn't mean she never gets hurt, but it does mean she avoids a lot of damage that others may face. Her boundaries are not just personal choices, they are spiritual tools. They help her stay on the path God has for her without getting pulled into traps set by others. Reason number 3, strength in solitude enables spiritual growth. The Sigma female is comfortable being alone. She doesn't fear solitude. In fact, she often seeks it. While others may feel empty without constant noise or attention, she finds peace and stillness. This isn't just a personality trait. It's a place where she connects with something deeper. Being alone gives her space to think clearly. It lets her listen to her inner voice without outside pressure. But more than that, solitude gives her time to connect with God. She reflects. She prays. She listens. She heals. This alone time isn't a weakness, it's where her strength is built. Evil people often look for those who are distracted, desperate for attention, or easy to influence. The Sigma female doesn't fall into that group. Because she's used to being alone, she doesn't accept just anyone into her space. She's not lonely, she's selective. In spiritual terms, this is powerful. God often calls people into quiet places to prepare them, speak to them, or protect them. The Sigma female lives in that space naturally. That's where her wisdom grows. That's where she learns to tell the difference between truth and lies. When someone with bad intentions tries to enter her life, they're met with silence and stillness. That silence can be uncomfortable for manipulators. It exposes them. They can't get past her quiet strength. Her solitude becomes a shield. While others are caught up in crowds and chaos, she's grounded. Her mind is clear, her spirit is guarded, and her connection to God stays strong. This is one of the biggest reasons she stays protected. She doesn't need the world to feel full. She already is. Reason number 4, obedience to conscience, guards against wrong paths. The Sigma female lives by a deep inner code. She doesn't follow rules just because others do. She follows what feels right in her spirit. Her conscience is sharp. When something feels wrong, she listens. When something feels off, she backs away. This obedience to her conscience is not fear, it's wisdom. It's how she stays out of danger, even when she doesn't understand the full picture yet. She may not explain why she's stepping away from a person, a job, or a situation, but she knows it's the right thing to do. Evil people often look for someone who ignores that inner voice, someone who doubts their own feelings, someone who can be talked into going along with the wrong path. But that doesn't work on the Sigma female. She may not have all the answers, but she trusts her sense of direction. When something doesn't sit right with her soul, she walks away, even if it looks good on the outside. This spiritual obedience keeps her from falling into traps. It keeps her clear of fake friends, toxic partners, and dangerous choices. She doesn't wait for others to approve. She doesn't need proof to leave. Her connection to her conscience is stronger than outside pressure. That's how she stays on the right path, even when it's lonely or unclear. In many spiritual teachings, following your conscience is following God's voice. The Sigma female does this naturally. That's why her steps are guided. That's why evil has a hard time holding on to her, because she refuses to stay in any place where her spirit feels unsafe. Reason number 5, God's reflections through trials. Refine character. The Sigma female has usually been through a lot. She may not talk about it, but her calm nature often comes from deep personal pain. She has faced betrayal, loneliness, rejection, and hard seasons that tested her soul. But instead of breaking her, those trials made her stronger. They taught her what to look for. They showed her who to trust and who to avoid. Every painful moment became a lesson. Every loss became a filter. She learned not to chase love, not to beg for respect, and not to stay where she's not valued. God doesn't cause all pain, but He uses it. He allows certain trials to shape people, to wake them up, to give them wisdom that can't be learned any other way. The Sigma female holds that wisdom. And that wisdom becomes a wall against evil. When someone tries to manipulate her, she recognizes the signs. When someone tries to gaslight her, she remembers how it felt before. She doesn't fall for it again. Her past becomes her armor. Her scars become reminders of what she'll never accept again. That's why she stays protected. She's not naive. She's not desperate. She's not easy to fool. And all of that came through fire. God didn't just let her survive. He made her better through it. Now she carries strength, grace, and discernment that many others don't. This protection isn't loud. It's quiet and powerful. She's been refined like gold. The pain didn't make her bitter. It made her guarded, and that's why evil can't reach her easily. Reason number 6, faith and prayer as a shield. The Sigma female may not speak loudly about her faith, but it runs deep. Her strength often comes from quiet moments of prayer, personal belief, and a strong connection to God. She doesn't show off her spirituality, but it's always with her. It guides how she lives, how she chooses, and how she protects herself. Evil people avoid those who are spiritually grounded. They look for cracks in the soul, places of doubt, fear, or confusion. But the Sigma female doesn't carry those openly. She fills those spaces with faith. When she feels lost, she prays. When she feels unsure, she waits. When she's under attack, she turns inward and upward instead of lashing out. This connection becomes her shield. Her faith reminds her who she is and who she belongs to. That confidence doesn't come from ego. It comes from knowing she's not walking alone. Even when others misunderstand her or try to break her down, she stays grounded in something bigger than herself. Prayer is more than words to her. It's protection. It clears her mind, calms her heart, and often reveals the truth. When someone with bad energy enters her space, she feels it, and her first response is often silence, reflection, or withdrawal. These actions come from faith. They keep her safe before harm has a chance to land. Her connection to God helps her move through life with calm, wisdom, and spiritual clarity. This is why evil rarely gets close. She's not just smart, she's covered. Her faith doesn't just make her strong. It keeps her protected. The Sigma female is not just wise or independent. She is spiritually guarded. God has given her tools, intuition, boundaries, solitude, conscience, lessons from pain, and strong faith. These aren't random traits. They are signs of purpose, protection, and calling. If you are a Sigma female, remember this: you are not alone. You are protected. If this message spoke to you, share it with someone who needs to hear it.